Welcome back to My Classic Car and Dan McMichael's Baldwin Motion Supercars.
Oh, boy, Dan, this is beautiful, and what a shocking paint job.
Yeah, this is a color called Flame Orange, and I've never ever seen a color quite like this on any car.
It pops, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I just love the black accent stripes.
I got kind of a Halloween thing going here. I mean, this thing looks serious. Now, these Gen 2s were really great cars, and this is, you know, pretty much what he made his money on.
Well, yeah, and again, you look at all the different things that he did to the car. This car started off particularly as a white Z28, and he added the Rally Sport package to it. He added the paint to it, of course, the Kriegers and the Hooker side pipes, and just really brought this car to life.
Well, that's great. Now, this is a Type LT, which is kind of unique for his cars. He started with, you know, more base cars usually, didn't he?
Joel didn't always spend a lot of money on the chassis because he knew he was going to rework them so much. So this, I believe, is the only Type LT Camaro that was ever produced. And of course, you got the nicer interior than the bucket seats, the touring bucket seats.
Well, it is a great looking interior. I mean, it looks downright comfy.
You know, it is. It's great to drive, and you got the Hurst shifter, and of course the sun gauges and the rosewood wheel. Just the best of the best for this particular style of car.
Now, even with that Hurst shifter, it sure looks like a 4-speed.
Well, no, you know, Dennis, it's not. This is actually an automatic. This is a turbo 400 with a manual valve body. So in other words, this thing is definitely set up to race. This thing actually drops and grabs rather than scooting across or hopping, and it just really drops the rear end and it grabs and goes. So this is definitely a quarter-mile warrior.
Well, he was known for the suspension on these things, and they really did bite. They just gripped the road. Was it a high mileage car?
No, actually, this car only has 5,200 original miles on it.
But that's over 20,000 times down a quarter-mile track.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But it does. The spoiler looks higher. It looks like that was extended.
That was extended up a couple of inches. So I always thought that gave a really neat appeal to the rear end of this car.
The whole thing just looks so aggressive, and you know. But what makes it as aggressive as it is, and we've talked about so many motion cars. I got to see one of these engines.
Okay, let's take a look.
So this was a full-blown Phase 3 treatment on this car?
Phase 3 treatment. One of the things I love is the L88 hood on this thing. I think it always gives a car, a Camaro, an attitude all its own. And Dennis, you'll notice that this is a LS6, and of course it has the motion cam in it. You've got the Edelbrock high-rise on it, aluminum high-rise.
Nice valve covers there, the motion chrome valve covers.
Motion emblem cap valve covers. And
big massive radiator on these. I mean, these things were just built to just flat out fly.
Yeah, and that was the whole motion mystique, is that he built the cars and they came with a guarantee that they would run in the 11 seconds in the quarter-mile with a 120-mile top end.
So most people are pretty happy with the performance.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, they are just the best of all the muscle cars that were ever produced. You just couldn't find anything better.
Sounds like you're happy with the performance, too.
Oh, I love this car.
Well, this one's licensed and insured, right?
Let's go drive it.
Yes.
Stay close. You gotta see this 73 Motion Camaro tear it up.
Welcome back to My Classic Car.
One of the differences with the motion cars is that these were really all checked out.
Well, yeah, that was the thing, is Joel balanced and blueprinted and built the engines. So, and then before they ever left the shop, they were all dynoed, and Bill Mitchell used to run the dyno for Joel. That's a name you'll probably remember, too.
You're kidding me.
He had quite the team there. I think the fun thing about Joel is that in a lot of respects he really didn't know what he was doing. He just was doing what he loved, which was building race cars, and a lot of the stuff he built he took out and raced. It was proven on the strip. In a lot of other respects, especially like in the early days, he used to race on Saturday and sell on Monday and go to build another one.
And that's kind of what it was in those days. That was pretty, I mean, it's effortless, isn't it?
It is. I've never driven a car like this that handles so smoothly, and believe me, I've had my hands on some Camaros that'll spin around on you in a heartbeat, and this one just wants to drop and go in a straight line, which is great.
So he was a racer kind of turned businessman. I mean,
Right.
racetrack was his R&D area.
That's exactly right. He knew how to tune a car, and again, that was another thing that he said, is a lot of people knew how to drop an engine and a big carburetor and, you know, transmission and rear end and everything, but to get them to all work together and tune them right, just right, so that you actually had the package, it was his claim to fame.
Oh, wow.
What'd you think of that?
That is serious, man.
Nothing like a little afternoon drive in a big block.
That is very serious. This is so cool. You got such great stuff here.
Oh, well, thank you
These
very
motion
much.
cars are awesome. I mean, you got anything else?
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, Dennis, there is something I haven't shown you yet. It's
What would that be?
Motion Mako Shark.
Going in for restoration? Is it? Next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.
Attention, Mike.